Okay, here we go. Day 2 of virtual learning. This is going to be your math lesson for today. We're here with Maddie, the math cat, and Tuco, the math cat. Today we're going to work on story problems. So, for today's lesson, you'll need something to write with, some paper, and if you have it, your number rack. Did you bring your number rack home with you? If you didn't, that's okay. Don't worry about it. You can use your cubes. Did you bring home cubes? Okay. Well, if you didn't bring home your number rack or bring home any cubes, you'll just have to work using pictures. Remember, the number rack and your cubes are just tools to help you. They help you to make sure you get the right numbers and that your answers are accurate. But of course, we're going to be doing pictures and equations anyway. So if you don't have them, that just means you won't have the extra help. For some of you, that's okay. Some of us need the extra help that these materials provide. That's okay too. All right, so today we're going to focus on story problems. The story problems will be about our friends, the penguins. They're back. Now, I'm going to read you the story problem. Then I'll tell you, okay, now pause the video and work on your problem. You'll have time to draw your pictures, write your equations, and then we can come back and talk about it. I would like for you to take pictures of the work that you do, and then you can upload them to Class Dojo to your portfolio. That way the teachers can see how you've been working. At the end of this lesson, you're also going to have some work to do in your Student Bridges book. We'll talk more about that later. That's your exit ticket for today. You will have to take pictures of the student book and upload it. Teachers will look over your work and make sure you're doing okay. Okay, let's get started. Here is your first story problem.
There are 9 penguins standing on the ice waiting to dive in, and 5 penguins already in the water. How many penguins in all? Let me read it again. There are 9 penguins standing on the ice waiting to dive in, and 5 penguins already in the water. How many penguins in all? I want you to use your paper and pencil and any of your support materials like cubes, pennies, or number rack to help you figure out your answer. Don't forget to show an equation and a picture. At this time, pause the video and work for 5 minutes. Okay, now that you've had time to work, how many penguins in all? How did you get that answer? Can you show me your work? There are a lot of different ways to solve this story problem. Now, I'm going to show you how I would solve it.
Okay, let's act out the story on my number rack. There are 9 penguins on the ledge. How did I know that this was 9 to move it in one push? One way to know is 5 and 4. Another way to know is that I left one behind, because I know there's 10 beads on the top row. Okay, 9 penguins on the ledge. 5 are in the water. How many penguins in all? So my equation should be 9 plus 5. What did you get for your total? Let me count on. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I got 14 in all. I know another way I can think about this too. I know a strategy for adding 9. Does anyone remember the shortcut to add 9? Yeah, you can add 10, take away 1. Let's see what that would look like on the number rack. Okay, so here is my number rack. I have 9 on the top and 5 on the bottom. I can turn my 9 into 10 so that I'm adding 10 like this, 10, and I cannot forget my second step. I have to take away 1. Do you see what I did there? Let me do it again. I have 9 on the top. 9 plus 5 equals 14. Now, we're going to try our strategy to see if we get the same answer. Make it 10. Take away 1. Now I have 10 plus 1, 2, 3, 4. 10 plus 4. 10 plus 4 is 14. It's the same answer. When we're adding 9 to a number, we can add 10, take away 1, and we'll get it the same answer. This could be a faster strategy if we know how to add 10 very quickly to a number. If we don't know how to add 10 very quickly, then it's okay to just keep our beads at 9 and 5 and count on. Start with the bigger number, 9, and then count on 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We get the same answer with both strategies, and whichever one works the best for you is the one that you should use. But if you can think about it as plus 10, take away 1, that will help you to do it fast if you know your plus 10 facts. Okay.
For this story problem, our matching equation would look like this. 8 plus 4 equals blank. Inside the box will go our answer. So, for this equation, it would look like this with the answer. 8 plus 4 equals 12. Let's take a look at our next story problem. There are 8 penguins standing on the ice waiting to dive in, and some more penguins in the water. There are 12 penguins in all. How many are in the water already? Let me read it one more time. There are 8 penguins standing on the ice waiting to dive in, and some more penguins in the water. There are 12 penguins in all. How many are in the water already? For this question, it's important that you think about the numbers that you do know. What is it we're trying to figure out? Really try and visualize the story. Make a movie in your head. Use your number rack and your cubes. Draw a picture. Use pennies if you have to. Whatever you have to do to make the story come alive. Okay, at this time, pause the video and work for 5 minutes, maybe up to 10. Okay, now that you've had time to work, how many penguins were in the water already? How did you get that answer? This one was a little bit different, right? We weren't trying to find the total. We knew the total. How much was the total? 12. And we knew one of the parts. The part that we knew was how many penguins were on the ice. How many were on the ice? 8. We were trying to figure out how many penguins were in the water. Let's take a look at me solving this on the number rack.
Okay, here we go. So for this one, we know that there's 8 penguins on the ice ledge. We don't know how many are in the water, but we know that there's 12 in all. So here's my 8. I know it's 8 because I can see 5 red and 3 white. Okay, so here's how I would solve it. I have my 8 here. Now I'm going to count on and stop when I get to the number 12. That's the total. Okay, here's my 8. Let's count on. 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, now that I counted on, I can see how many penguins were in the water. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, to answer the question, how many penguins were in the water already, the answer is 4.
So this time, our matching equation would look like this. 8 plus blank equals 12. Where this time we're trying to find a part rather than the whole. So when we write our answer in, it would look like this. 8 plus 4 equals 12. Remember, this time our answer is the number that's inside the box. So our answer to this question, how many penguins were in the water, is 4. Always put your answer in a box so we know you know which is the missing number. Let's take a look at our next story problem. There are some penguins hiding behind the hill, waiting to run out and jump into the water. When they join the 5 penguins in the water, there will be 11 penguins in all. How many are hiding behind the hill? Let me read it again. There are some penguins hiding behind the hill, waiting to run out and jump into the water. When they join the 5 penguins in the water, there will be 11 penguins in all. How many are hiding behind the hill? Think carefully about what we know and what we don't know in this story problem. Use your tools to help you find an answer. Pause the video now and work for 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, now that you've had time to work, what's your answer? How many penguins were hiding behind the hill? How did you get that answer? Let's go over how I would solve this problem. I'll demonstrate it to you on my number rack.
Okay, so for this one, there are some penguins hiding behind the hill. We don't know how many to start with. When they join the 5 penguins in the water, there will be 11 in all. Okay, so let's say the top row is still my penguins on the hill. I don't know how many to start with, because it just says some. But I know that there are 5 penguins in the water. When the penguins join them, there will be 11 in all. How can I make this into 11? The first strategy I'll use is to count on. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, I did it. So how many were hiding behind the hill? That's right. 6, 5, and 1. That's what I see. Okay, so that was counting on. But there's also another way to solve this even faster. That is a double plus 1. So here's my 5. If we make a double fact, 5 plus 5 plus 1 is 11. That's a fact that we can get right away by using the doubles plus 1 strategy. You can see the double inside of it. 5 and 5. Add 1 more. That's a double plus 1. So we know there's 5 in the water, and we know we have to get 11. If we know our doubles facts, then we know 5 plus 5, 10, add one more, 11. That means our answer for this question is 6. Well, that's going to be the last video for today that you see me. Let's talk about what the equation looks like next, and then I'll show you the pages that you have to work on in your student book. So for now, say goodbye to Maddie, the math cat, and Tuco, the math cat, and we'll see you again soon. Now, let's talk about what that equation looks like.
Okay, so here's what our equation will look like for this one. Blank plus 5 equals 11. Remember, we didn't know how many penguins we started with hiding behind the hill, but we knew that when they joined 5 penguins in the water, we would have 11 altogether. So when we fill in our answer, it looks like this. 6 plus 5 equals 11. Remember, the number in the box is our answer. So the number we didn't know was 6. There are 6 penguins hiding behind the hill. All right, let's take a look at the student pages you will have to complete in your Bridges student book. Remember, these pages are your exit tickets for today. You have to finish them, then take pictures and upload them to Class Dojo for your teachers to check your work. Have your family help you to read the story problems if you need help. There are 2 pages for you to do. The first page is page 42 in your student book. The second page is page 43 in your student book. Now, you'll notice at the bottom of page 43, there is a challenge question. This challenge question is going to be a little bit harder. That's okay. That's why we call it a challenge. Who's up for a challenge? Remember, we don't expect you to be able to read these story problems for yourself. If there's no one around to help you, that's okay. Use the numbers that you can read and try the best you can. Or wait until there's someone to help you in your student book. Now that you've finished your video, don't forget, your teachers are waiting for you in the Zoom in office hours from 8 to 10 every morning, 12 to 1 at lunchtime, and 3 to 5 in the afternoon. We miss you a lot, and we hope you'll come visit us. Talk to you soon. Bye.